Is airport security starting to violate religious beliefs? According to some Muslim groups, the answer is yes. And they support a new religious ruling that prevents Muslim passengers from going through airports with full-body scanners. Joining me live is Nihad Awad, Executive Director and co-founder of the Council of American Islamic Relations. Talk to me a little bit about the struggles here. I mean, since 9/11, we have had some major issues with security. However, this is a violation. Talk to me about that.
Well, you know, in principle, everybody supports good, smart measures to protect passengers and air flights. However, some of these measures have to be examined and should not violate or sacrifice civil liberties and civil rights. In other words, this ruling that you just mentioned represents mainstream Islamic thinking, which is the prohibition of the use or viewing of naked body images. So if these are displayed in public on machines in airports, it violates human decency, and I'm surprised that not many religious groups are in opposition to it.
But what's the right answer here? I mean, the airports have a job to do. They have to keep everyone on the planes safe. So what's the right answer? I mean, is there another thing that they should have to go through?
Well, you know, there are several alternatives. One, it should be optional. Second, I think they can modify the software so that they cannot preserve these images or store them for another use some other time, which I believe it's going to be a violation of privacy. The modification of the software, it can be designed in a way just to project the suspected body on the human body without having to display the entire naked image of a person. Second, make it optional for people to be subjected to pat-down search. And that's, I think, what's taking place in many airports.
I'm going to go ahead and put political correctness aside just for a second here. We have seen the 9/11 attackers. We've seen Richard Reed, the shoe bomber. We've seen Abdul Muttalib. A lot of these people, most of these people, affiliated with Muslim extremist groups. The last one we saw, the Christmas Day attempted bomber, Abdul Muttalib, tried to hide this stuff in his underwear. This is the only kind of machine that could have potentially caught bringing this explosive on board. I mean, this is a group that's talking about not wanting to go through the scanners, and yet, sort of by indirect relation, this is a group that these people have been a part of. Talk to me about, you know, expand on that a little bit.
Well, first of all, these individuals who have been caught, including Richard Reed, they do not fit the profile of passenger profiling that is applied. In fact, they defy passenger profiling. Second, they are in defiance of any faith, including the Islamic faith. And again, I think the question is, how can we balance security and safety and civil rights of people? We can do that. If we rely only on technology, we fail. The governments have been always few steps behind terrorists, and the element of surprise is always used in these attacks. Technology is not the only answer. We can modify technology to help us, but we have to use human intelligence and the profiling of behavior, not just projecting naked body images and just give people the impression that we are safe. We are not safe that way.
Real quick, you had mentioned before you're surprised that other opposition groups haven't, or other groups rather, haven't spoken out in opposition to this. Talk about that.
I mean, religious groups, civil rights groups have spoken against it, privacy groups have spoken out against it, and even rabbis and religious groups. But in the United States, I was surprised that only Muslim organizations have spoken against it in terms of religious groups. And I believe if they think about it, they will have the same objections that we do. But again, the basic question is, we are in total support with security measures that preserve the security protection measures along with civil rights. The violation of one will endanger the other.
All right, Nihad Awad, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.